The 13th of February, Rabbi Furst, Mishna Berura.
Okay. Good morning again. This is Rabbi Shlomo Furst here, Shiva Shamanavshi. King Shlaim Care Zoom. This is our second share. We're learning Hilchis Purim in the Mishnah Berura, Kalik Vav, and Siman Taf Reish Pei Het, Siv Gimel. Okay, I guess Mayor, would you like to start reading?
1 second. Okay, Gimel. Okay. Okay, so let's see. Whoa, I lost everybody.
We see you, Mayor.
Oh, okay. I have this weird computer. It likes to keep switching me to another screen. Anyway, it says Kafarim v'ayarot gedolot ukrachim she'enam mukafim chomot miyamot Yehoshua bin Nun. Okay, so Kafarim are the villages again? I forget.
Right, Kafarim villages, right?
Okay, and the big cities, Ukrachim are like the suburbs?
Well, Krachim would be towns.
Oh, towns. Okay, well, it could be suburbs, I guess. Towns. She'enam mukafim, where there were no walls. In the days of Yehoshua ben Nun, mukafim.
Right, they were not walled at the time. They were not walled. They weren't surrounded. Mukafim surrounded. Mukafim was surrounded.
Oh, surrounded. Okay, at the time of Yehoshua.
Right.
Oh, Korim. Yeah, and they Korim b'Yudalet, and they read.
Right. Okay, that's pretty straightforward, halacha. Let's see the Mishnah Berura in Ches.
Okay, Chet. Hakfarim. V'hu hadin ayarot. Okay, so they have the village. The villages have the laws of the cities. Okay.
One second.
Yeah, why would we think differently though?
Let's see again. Korim b'Yudal. They read in Yudalid, right?
Right.
So the Mishnah Berura says on that, right? We should deny.
It's Ches. It's Siv Ches, Mayor.
Oh, Sifchet.
Yeah.
Sif Cotton, right? Sif Cotton.
Oh, I read the wrong one. I'm sorry.
Okay. Don't worry, no problem.
Ein baya. Ein baya.
Okay. Okay.
Thanks, I know you were just stalling till I could get here.
So, okay. After this, I have a quick question, I think, about Purim. Okay, so Chet, Korin b'Yudalet, they read on the 14th. Me, Shedino likro b'Tetvav, Eino Yachol likro. V'liftor livnei Yudalid b'Yudalid. So let's see what that means. Me, those whose law it is to read on the 15th.
Right. Let's say you have a Yushalmi, right? You have a Yushalmi. And Yushalmi, his halacha is that he reads on Tes Vav, right? He has a halacha that he's supposed to read on Tes Vav. So that Yushalmi, that his din is that he reads on Tes Vav. Any yochel the kroll the potter b'nei Yudala b'Yudala. He's not able to read and exempt those people on Yudalid, right, for their reading on Yudalid.
Oh.
Right? So for some reason a Yushalmi is in Beit Shemesh on Purim for some reason, and he's planning to come back So therefore, even though he's there physically in Beit Shemesh on Yudalit, he won't have to read Megillah. He doesn't have Purim until he gets back to Yerushalayim on, say, for the morning of Tezvav. So he can't read for the people there in Beit Shemesh in Yudalit.
Huh.
Not able to do that.
Okay, so that's anywhere outside of Yerushalayim then.
Yeah, except sometimes there's some place about Sfakis. There's some places that like Tiberias is a suffix. Some place I think in B'nai Brak it's considered a suffix according to some opinions. There are some places where they were doubtful as to whether or not they have to read on Tesvav Yutalit. So maybe in a suffix you could be able to read them. I'm not sure. That's not clear to me.
Oh, okay.
Right. Right. Let's finish.
Okay,
finish with-
v'chein lehefek, and so too for the opposite. So someone who reads on the 15th can't read for him, I guess.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. Kevan she'eino mechuyav atab adavar. Since he is not obligated now on this thing.
Right.
Okay.
It's not his day to read, so he's not obligated. And the general rule about reading for somebody, pottering somebody, is they have to be a barchi of yourself.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Megadin, excuse me, katav, diavad, im ben karach, kara levin, excuse me, yudalit be yudalit yatsa. Okay, so that's hard.
Right. So the Pri Megadim writes that B'diavad, meaning after the fact or in a non-ideal situation, the Ben Krach, who is a Tesvav, can read for Ben Yudalid on Yudalid, and he would be Yotze. So, for example, if there's no one else who's able to read, that's God. Right? So that Tesvav person can go ahead and read on Yudalid for the Yudalid people. Right? That's all B'diavad. But ideally, you shouldn't do it. But B'diavad, it'll be permissible.
He still fulfills his obligation. Okay.
Right, right. You had a question, Mayor? You said a general question.
No, I think this answered it actually.
Oh, okay, very good. Okay, fine. Let's see Sif Daled then. That'll bring us to Sif Daled in the Mechaber.
Okay. Karach shehu safek im chukaf b'yemei Yoshua ben Nun lav. Lav. Okay. Korim b'yadalit uvit tetvav uvelei lehem. Also on their nights. Wow. V'lo yivarech ki im b'yadalit shehu zman kriya l'rov ha'olam. Okay. So Karach, a village who, if they're in doubt,
When do you read the Megillah?
that it's okay. When you're in doubt, if it was a village that was around in the time of Yoshua ben Nun or not, you don't know. They read on.
What is the word hukaf?
Hukaf is he was surrounded by a wall.
Ah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, surrounded by the wall. Okay, so they read on both Yudalid and Tetvav and on their nights. Wow. V'lo yivarech im b'Yudalid, but they do not say the blessing on Yudalid. Shehuzman, for it is the time of reading for the majority of the world.
Right, so let's say a person was down there in South America, in the Andes Mountains there, and there was in some Inca ruins, right? And there was a question as to whether or not those places were Hukaf from the time of Yeshua ben Nun. So they'd have to read there on both days, right? But not to make any bracha except on the first day, Yudalid, because that's what the Mechaber says. The Rova Oilam reads at that point. And there's some places that, for example, Montreal is I think it's supposedly it's the only walled city in the Northern American continent, but it clearly was not walled at the time of Yeshua ben Nun. So therefore, even though it has a wall now, right, since there's no suffix about as to whether or not it was walled at the time of Yeshua ben Nun, they only read on Yudalad because there's no suffix there. But it could be I'm not sure, it could be the Incas had walled cities at the time of Yeshua ben Nun. I don't know if anybody knows, but that would, if it's a real suffix, then they would read both days and both nights, and again, only to make the bracha on the first night and first day. Okay, let's see the Mr. Brewer.
Okay, so it says Jehu Safek, that it is a doubt, Safek. V'tiviria sarikli krot ba b'yudalit uvi tetvav. And so you were just commenting on. So in Tiberia, it's required to read on both the 14th and the 15th.
Right. The Gemara has a question about Tiberia, right?
Mhm.
It has first of all, because as the Mishna, actually the Mishna Berura, finished the Mishna Berura. Mishna was to tell you what the suffix of the Gemara is.
Oh yeah, so the Safek im hayam chashuv kechoma. So it's asking if the doubt is if the ocean, the sea, is I guess considered like a war.
Right. So that
would make islands qualified.
With an island, that's a very good question. An island is considered to be something which is hukaf because it's surrounded by water. Yeah,
Can you clarify? Can I get a clarification on this thing? The idea of the walled city, is that only applied to Eretz Israel? In
No.
other words, if we could establish that in Peru there was a walled city at the time of Yeshua, that city would qualify?
Yes. There are actually I think only two or three cities that are in doubt. I think Baghdad is one city that might be considered to have been ruled at the time of Yeshua ben Nun. Prague is according to some a city that is possibly have been ruled at the time of Yeshua ben Nun. Istanbul, I'm not sure. Maybe Istanbul as well. I'm not sure. Few cities, constant, yeah. That and then some of them actually read in Prague. I know in Prague there's a minhag in Prague to read on both days. Right.
That's
So,
interesting.
It's not limited to Eretz Israel. Right.
Stopping it.
Huh. Okay. Let's see. So, hold on. Uvedimot elu b'charachin hamukafim choma ein lahistapeh shema mukafim miyemot Yoshua ben Nun. Okay. And in these states,
in the regions of the Mr. Brewer, he's writing for Central and Northern Europe.
Oh, okay. In the towns that are surrounded by a wall.
I mean, there are many walled cities in Europe. You travel Europe. In our time, there from the time of the medieval times, they made many walled cities, castles, all these places, castles. They're all walled cities, right?
Mhm.
So that's what he says. Medinas Elu in our regions, right? The Krachim, Hamukafim, I mean, they do happen to be walled cities right now.
Mhm. But there's no doubt that they were walled at the time of Yoshua ben Nun.
There's no doubt, right?
Okay.
They were,
Uh,
he explains, Mr. Burr explains.
Right. Okay. Lefisha Hemitzafon Urechokim Me Eretz Yisrael V'Yadua Shelo Hayu Miyushavim B'Zman Yehoshua. Okay. So accordingly, they Tzafun were hidden.
No, Shem Safon, they're in the north, the northern.
Oh, in the north. And distances from the land of Israel. And it is known that there were no residents at the time of no one living there at the time of Yoshua.
Right. The Yeshua was maybe a good 1,000 years before even the Roman Empire, and the Romans called the people who lived in the northern European countries, they called them barbarians. No, they were simply living in caves, right?
Yeah.
Didn't have any civilization, didn't have any settlements. Right?
Wow. Okay. Yud. Korim b'Yud Dalet uvi Tetvav. V'nohagim Simcha umatanot levyonim b'shneihem. Okay, so it's read on the 14th and 15th. Okay, and it's nohagim. It's a tradition to have joy and give gifts to the poor on both of those days.
This actually this touches on maybe. Okay, we'll see. Maybe we maybe should spend a day or two in preparation of Purim Kutnas coming up this week. So we should really maybe try and understand some of them in Hagim and the laws relevant to Purim Kutnas, which will be coming up in a day or two. Bli neder, we'll see what I can do some of those laws. Yeah. Okay. In the meantime, let's continue on. Yud Aleph.
Purim Kutnas is Tuesday.
Tuesday, Wednesday, I think, right?
Yeah, Purim Cotton and Shushan Purim Cotton is Wednesday. Okay. Okay. Going on. V'lo yivarech shehabracha afilu b'mitzvah shel Torah hu midrabanan. Okay, so we don't bless, and the bracha, even if it's a mitzvah, from the Torah, Deraisa. But
so right, so the in terms of what the Mishnah is saying now, that a bracha, even if it's on a mitzvah of the Torah, let's say you have the bracha you make when you listen to shofar, the bracha you make when you sit in a sukkah, the bracha you make when you wave a lulav, right? All these brachas, even though it's a bracha which is being made on a mitzvah which is min Torah, or the Raisa Torah, or the chiyuv, the bracha itself is only midrabanan, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. Okay, V'im came b'davar shehu safek. So, and if therefore there is a doubt, L'inyan habracha hu sveka derabanan. So the matter is the bracha is based on a doubt of its Rabbanan, I guess.
Right, so the bracha, whether you make the bracha or not, right, that's a suffix in the Durabanan. So
Okay.
that's even if it's a mitzvah deraisa. So now the Mishna continues, the kosher came even more so in our case.
Oh, b'chol shechein, b'zeh shehu mitzvah shel divrei.
I mean, that's usually a reference to a din Durabanan.
Oh, it is, okay. L'chulei alma ein sarik bracha. So in general, one does not need to say a bracha.
Right.
Okay. Uma shemivarech b'yudalid mishum uviyom yudalid hu zman kriya l'rov ha'olam. Uma. And what they do the bracha on Yudalid, because on the day of Yudalid is the reading for most of the world
Right.
of Kedil Kama, which we learned that's above.
As we learned
Below.
as we learned previously, right?
Previously. Okay. V'rotzeh Mar.
Actually, no, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The kaime. I'm sorry.
Is
Kaime
below, right?
Yeah, as we will be learning, right below, as will come. Right. Sorry. Excuse me.
Oh, as will come. Okay. V'rotzeh Mar, the Akain afilu hu mukaf choma shedino b'tetvav im kara b'yom yadalid yatsa b'davad v'lohave bracha levatala. So if one wants to say
So,
okay.
therefore, right? Therefore, right? That the reading, right? Al-Kain, therefore, feel who mukaf koima dino tesbiteswa. On the one aspect of the doubt that it was mukaf and its din would be tesvav, im karb yudaladi biyotzi, you'd be the evid, right? You'd be yotzi be the evid, and therefore, since it's yotzi be the evid, it's not a bracha of a tongue.
Okay, it's not wasted. Okay, very good.
Okay. Good. We'll now take a look in Sif Hey. We'll do the mechaber, and that's about all we have time for today. Very complicated halachas now. This is probably one of the most difficult halachas in Hilchos Purim. People who switch around and go from place to place on Purim. Let's take a look.
So it says, let's see, Ben Ir shehalach lekrach, Ben krach shehalach leir, im hayada tolach zor limkomo, bisman kriya v'nitache v'lo chazar. This is a long one. Korebi mikomo. Ve'im lo haya b'dato lachzor ela la'achar zman hakriya koreim anshe hamakom shehu sham. Okay, so let's see. So it says a person who lives in this city and he goes to a town, or he's a resident of a town and goes to a city. If he's not sure that he'll be able to return to his place and for the time of the reading, Vinita cave, and he's delayed and does not return, he he reads like the place, I guess, that he's in.
Well, okay, that's actually going to be a question. What that's what that's referring to.
Oh, okay.
That'll be a question, right? Go ahead, but continue on.
Okay, okay. V'imlo hayad dato laksur, and if he's not sure, he'll return. Ella lachar zman until after the reading of the Megillah. He reads with the people of the place that he is there. And that's
Right.
interesting.
Okay, so let's just review. Then let's see, we have the Ramah here as well. Let's take a look at the Ramah.
Okay, so the Ramah says, "Ve'im hu b'midbar o b'sfina korei b'yom daled k'mo rov ha'olam." Oh, okay. So if he's in the wilderness or on a ship, the day of the 14th, as the majority of the world.
Right. Okay. Let's. I want to review the Mechaber again. We'll do maybe a. Let's see. Maybe.
I have a question. If he's on a ship,
Yeah.
and he reads on the 14th, and then the ship arrives, and he can get to Yerushalayim, then he has to read the second day.
Well,
Is that what we're learning?
not necessarily. It depends. The Mishna Berura will discuss, if I'm not mistaken, that specific case. If later they happen to get there, if at the time when he was in the ocean, for example, and it was Yud-Daled, so he read on Yud-Daled, so that was his chiyuv, and he's really fulfilled his chiyuv.
With a bracha, he reads with a bracha.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's Yotze.
Right, Hebrew Yotze with Yud-Daled. If later on he happens to find himself getting to Yerushalayim, for example, to read again on Tezvav, it may not. I don't think it's a chiyuv. I have to find that in the Mishna Berura, but I don't think it's a chiyuv for him to read under those circumstances. Right.
Is it possible, time-wise, for a person to, on Yud Dalet, he's in America, and then he flies to Eretz Israel? That would also qualify. Is that possible? The time? No, they're ahead 7 hours.
He'd have to come to a place in. He'd have to come to Yerushalayim.
Well, if he's on the plane, he could read on Yud Dalet, right? He could lane.
Right.
He would lane the Megillah, and then when he lands.
Right. If his destination is Yerushalayim, so it depends. If that's his intention was to be Yerushalayim, and he's here at the time of the read, it could be. If he's see, he's leaving from Yud Dalet, so he has a chiyuv to read Yud Dalet.
Right.
And it'll depend if his intention was to go return to Yud Dalet afterwards or not. But he's not going to return to Yud Dalet until after the time of the reading, so he'll be exempt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's fulfilled his obligation at the time of his first reading.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how it works. No, I don't think. In terms of the timing, I don't know if it works out in terms of the timing.
Because it's 7 hours ahead, it's probably he would miss it.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it works out in terms of the timing. Okay. So again, just to review, the basic law is if you have either one, a person who was obligated on Yud Dalet or is obligated on Tezvav, and he happens to be in other places at the other times, so the main factor is what's his intention? Was he intending to return back to his place or not? Right? And in general, the rule is if he's intending to be back on time for his proper reading, then even though he's in the other place at the time of their reading, that doesn't make him obligated in the reading because he intends to be back in his own place at the time of its own reading.
Uh-huh.
But as I said, we'll go over this maybe tomorrow, or we'll see if I prepared something on Purim Katan, we'll do Purim Katan. If not, we'll do this tomorrow, and then the next day we'll do something on Purim Katan. If we'll have to find that the luck is relevant to that.
Since we're in Yehuda Shamron, we would read on your Dalit.
Correct.
But
Right.
the next day, if we go to Yerushalayim on the 15th, we're not obligated. Correct?
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll see that. We'll see that more. Mitzvah Shem. Okay, very good. Time to stop. We'll continue tomorrow. Mitzvah Shem. Everyone should have a good day.